Oh, we got red round the live or something. I don't know what's going on there. Let's just cancel the speakers. Oh, that bit of a loop. Don't know what that's all about. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Already we've got strange things going on. Got me timer at the top there, flagged up in light red for some reason. Penelope, anybody that's coming in with an account created on the day, we're very wary of. If what you're saying is true, we'll see how the day goes and see how you prove yourself. We've had too much of this lately. Yeah, absolutely lost souls. Welcome, Holly, by the way, Stitch. Sorry. But, Pat, good afternoon, mate. Hope you're well. Well, we've had quite a bit going on this week, haven't we? Another war started. As I said in the description, I'm not going to go into that in depth because the only bit of it that I'm even vaguely interested in is what it's doing here and what happens here about it. So, who started it, who done what years ago, I really don't give a crap. But there's other news. We've won, or say we, I wasn't personally involved, but obviously I support it. The small win down in Wales at the hotel. Unfortunately, yes, it was only a small win because there's quite a battle going on elsewhere, and it looks like it's moved to Scampton. Now the protesters there are getting harassed by the police, getting arrested under the bullshit offences that they come up with. And they what they're doing is the same as they done at Stradley. They're taking out the people that are publicising it. 3 I've heard of so far. There are more, but Active, he got lifted again under a bullshit charge. Likewise with Yorkshire Rose, Bulldog, for those of you that know them. Afternoon, Bleach. Yeah, so it looks like it's going to kick off there now. We won. Good afternoon, Mickey Mouse. Welcome, bro. Yeah, and so I think that's where the focus is going to be pointed at now. Although the protesters are staying at Stradley for a little while, simply because it's too quick and easy for the Home Office to do a U-turn on the decision. We've seen them do that before. But they've been doing it exactly the same. They're waiting until people are separated from the crowd and then attacking them like a pack of hyenas, with each one trying to take their bite in turn. Even the security there are on film attacking them and assaulting them on public land, not on private land, although the police won't take the report and won't look at the evidence. But that's nothing we haven't come from to expect from them, to be honest. But for what was in that banner, don't use all capitals in the chat, please. Mickey does. People will see. Literally, that's because we know that he does have sight issues when he's typing. So Mickey is exempt from that. But any other comments in all caps will be removed. I haven't got a Nightbot working in here, so I physically do it myself, or one of the moderators will, if they're seen. Right, let's. I keep forgetting this, don't I?
Yes, Dan, even you, I'll come and give you a spanking. Next comment, not sorry.
Well, yes, Penelope, I do have views on it. Simply because of what it does across the rest of the world. Now, most countries, as far as I can see, especially in the EU, these fucking things that go up the side are annoying me.
If anybody knows how to turn them off, let us know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want it brought here. I don't give a crap about religion. I never have. I leave people to their own religion, as long as they don't try and force it on me. But this is a religion that has been trying to be forced on other people, from both sides. Robert, Chuck, Phil, good afternoon, guys. But they're bringing it here. They want to fight each other here. Well, no. If you're that passionate about your beliefs, your religion, your country, you fuck off back there and you fight for it, don't you? You don't kick off in somebody else's country. That's just my opinion on it, and that's why I can't be bothered to debate it or go into it too deeply. But believe it or not, I've got another window open here, and considering what they said was going to happen today, whether there's a blanket ban on it, I don't know. But
Allah Akbar.
Don't you fucking start. I'll get Ahmed the terrorist in. I kill you.
Good afternoon, all.
Afternoon, gorgeous.
How you doing, Rog?
Yeah, not bad, mate. The headache's almost gone. That's what I said earlier on. How long I go on today depends on that. If it gets worse, then obviously I'll say, no, I can't concentrate. But at the moment, it's fine. It's been subsiding all day. So, but yeah, I think it was a bit excessive on the treatment. But my antics of walking about for the day before and that day probably didn't help.
Well, you want to tell them not to take so much blood next time.
Well, they weren't going to take any originally.
The NHS, more like the government trying to take blood, you bastards.
It was the fact that I pointed out to them, look, this appointment is 2 months late and it's your error. It doesn't mean to say you've got to make up for it and take twice as fucking much.
You needed thinning down. The problem was you wouldn't drink.
Good afternoon, guys.
Rehydrate.
You can see that one there. That's where they put the little needle in, just to take some for a test.
So you had a little prick in your right hand and a big prick in your left hand.
The big one went in there. There's hardly any bruising on that one. Yet they took nearly 2 bags out of there, which included like 8 of the biggest fucking test tubes I've ever seen.
They're going to try and clone you.
Hey?
They're going to try and clone you, Roger.
Oh, God, there's no way we're trying to do that. I mean, look what happened the last time they put something in a test tube.
Hello, Steve. Hello, Stitch.
Hello. How's it going?
Hello.
All right, mate. All right.
Good afternoon. Yeah, I don't know whether there's, if there is anything kicking off anywhere, because there is absolutely nothing on YouTube in this country.
No, I've been keeping an eye out for live streams all day as well. I know there's been some incidents in France. I think I think there was an Israeli in China that got stabbed either today or yesterday, I think. It has some incidents have been going off, but
Germany have outlawed it and made it illegal. France has, Spain has. I'm not too sure about Italy.
Made what illegal? Protesting. Made what illegal? Protesting.
Penelope, I don't holiday abroad anymore. I haven't done for years. Yes, Mickey. But they have come out and said that they don't believe. Believe? What the fuck? Believe that was connected to anything that's going on at the moment.
Oh, they're going to say that anyway, though, aren't they? Let's be honest, because they don't want retaliations, so they're going to say that anyway. There's probably been a media blackout on anything that might go off.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I don't think it's as. I think thankfully it's not as bad as people might have expected it to be yet. Still got the weekend to go.
That's what I'm saying. Wait till after dark.
But yeah, I'm not holding my breath to, for peaceful weekend. Let's put it that way.
Well, what's his name? The law secretary or justice secretary or whatever he is. He actually came out today and said in a live interview, "Look, it's illegal." Anything.
Yeah, but they're not going to get fucking arrested, though, are they? They've already said they can't put rapists away because the fucking prisons are full. What are they going to do if they start arresting people for backing prescribed terrorist groups? They can't put them in prison.
One respect, I wish they would, because I want to compare how the police handled this to how they handled all the other big ones in London a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but they won't know. This is the thing. When Black Lives Matter went off, okay, they didn't arrest any Black Lives Matter. Okay, no. Even though they were causing damage, criminal damage, and assaulting people and stuff like that, they done fuck all. Their argument was, let's get rid of the people that we think are causing the protesters to get riled up, rather than actually doing something about the protesters.
Yeah.
Same thing here. I think it will be a case of, right, let's instead of arresting Alan's snack bars, they'll get rid of the people that might be there to protest against them.
Yeah.
Instead.
Yeah. Good evening, wee one. I just say Moo, Rob. It's like I said. You know what my feelings are on religion. I don't give a shit who kneels or prays to who, as long as it doesn't affect me. But with this now, and with them all coming over here previous, I mean, they're saying there's only 600 of these Hamas or whatever they are that they know of in the country. But I reckon there's a fucking lot more than that, to be honest.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You just need extreme. You just need Muslim extremists. That's all you need.
The
Muslim
extremists jump on the case, and they're the ones that will kick off. But no, it's when it comes to my door, I've got some views on it. But what goes on over there, what they do to each other, it's entirely up to them. It's. But what people have got to look at is what they're doing there between the two different fractions. Now, what happens when they effectively are the majority in this country, and they start doing the same here? And that's what they're going to do to your fucking cities and towns.
I've already said over the past few days, I've already said, right, that our government have opened the floodgates, and we've just been allowing everybody in, no checks, and we now have, in every major city in the UK, we have what used to be called hotels, but are now, as far as I'm concerned, are barracks. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because you've got no families in them. Remember that. You've got no families in. There's no kids and wives in there. These are all full of, as everybody's been saying, fighting age men. And that, and that is a fact. That's not something that I can be, dismissed on. That is a fact. All of these hotels, all of these barracks are now full of men of a certain age. Now, why have all the men come over if they're fleeing? And again, this is a question that keeps going around. If they're fleeing war, why have they not brought their families with them?
It's like I said. If they're feeling that strong about their beliefs and their views and what's going on there, why aren't they over there fucking fighting for it instead of crying here? Penelope, with questions like that, it's plainly obvious you're one of them that's been plaguing us the last few weeks. So I'll fuck you off straight away.
Yeah. Go on, Rod.
Told you I don't play idiots. I stopped doing that a long time ago when I stopped playing with myself. I shouldn't have said that.
Can you hear us all right, Pops?
Yes.
Pardon?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Shut up. You see the new thing I learnt to play with, Dan, at the bottom?
I do, yes. Yes, but let's be careful you showing us new things that you're learning to play with,
Oh,
especially
I
on
know.
a live stream.
Especially with the left hand.
Oh, babe.
Jesus,
2
we've
secs.
lowered the tone right from the
No
start.
worries.
What we got here?
Well, I know you've missed me for a few weeks. I haven't really. I mean, I popped on the other week, didn't I? But this tiredness and shit. So I thought I'd make up for it today and drag you into the gutter nice and early.
Well, you it's next weekend. You won't be here, isn't it? You're away for
Yes.
a few weeks. This one will be the last live for probably a week at least, maybe 2.
Potentially 2. Yeah. I've only got enough brandy for one more live stream anyway.
Two short ones then. No, but it's moving on, and it's nice that you're back in touch with the lads, and hopefully it'll work out. And but what I will tell you,
hello, people,
is yes,
Hello.
you'll expect them to listen to you, but also you've got to listen to them.
Oh, listen, the whole thing for me is to go and meet them and let them get everything out that they need to say and do and all the rest of it. That is all about them. It's not about me. They'll ask me questions. I don't need to ask them questions. This is all about them. So they'll ask me questions. My youngest boy said to me about seeing him separately to his brother because they might have different questions to ask me. Which I didn't think about at the time, which is absolutely fine. So I said to him, yeah, that's fine. I assumed that you would have the same questions, but they would remember me slightly differently because they're a year apart. So my youngest boy has a year less of knowing me than his older brother. So yeah, there's going to be slightly different questions, which is absolutely fine. I'm not going to take any of the evidence down that I've had or got. Which I've always said when they're old enough, I'll give to them to prove that I didn't just piss off. I'm not going to take any of that down. It's just going to be a case of them asking me questions. I'll answer their questions. And then if and when I see them again, I can bring the evidence down and give it to them and they can do what they want with it then. And that's it. But it's all about them this week. Next weekend is all about them.
Yeah, it's, there's a lot of bridges to build. Obviously, a lot of it is personal stuff that you've never talked about, and I wouldn't expect you to. But I would say, you got to get to know each other before you can really open up about some of it.
Yeah.
And the sooner it's done, the better, because then you can move on, all of you, and just get on with it and get to know each other as you should. It's, I mean, my situation is different. I mean, it's nearly 40 years since the last time I saw mine.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of emails from my daughter in that period, and that's about it. So, but they've always known where I am. The other members of my family that they do keep in touch with, they've all got my details. They can show them how to get in touch with me as easy as anything. But I don't bother putting myself forward. I did it to start with, and I'm not getting the response that I want from this. Missy, good afternoon, sweetheart. But,
I mean, I've kind of resigned myself to my eldest boy. I've kind of resigned myself to the fact that will probably never be reconciled. But my door's always open to him. If he ever comes to me in the future, then I will treat him just as I have the other two. And I'll
Heather's always said if my two wanted to turn up, they'd always be made welcome. Like,
yeah.
But I mean, my daughter, when I was in touch with her, there was a few emails went backwards and forwards, and I said, does anybody still talk about me? She said no. She said if your name's brought up in a conversation, it instantly gets buried. You know, so that's fair enough. You know, but my brother did say that even my own family had turned them against me. So,
Right.
but
I think the worst part for my boys is that their mums know each other, but the boys don't.
Yeah,
Which I think is pretty disgusting for the mums to do that. To be honest, you know what I mean. They've never had, you know, they don't go to each other's birthdays. They don't know each other, and I think that's bang out of order. To be honest, no, they're brothers, half brothers, but they're brothers.
I turned up. Where was I living at the time? I think I was in Bristol. I turned up for my brother's 40th. And I walked in, and there's all his business mates there, you know, all throwing the money around all over the place. And I just sat at the end of the bar on my own. Well, if anybody recognises me, they'll come and say hello, like, you know.
Yeah.
And one of the lads turned up around. He was a mate of mine as well as my brother. He was a couple of years younger than me. He's my brother's age, 4 years younger than me. And he brought his missus over and introduced her to me because I hadn't seen him for God knows how many years. And he started laughing, and he looked at his missus. He said, "Rog, what was it? How did it you used to describe yourself as you're standing in the family?" I said, "The poor one." And my brother heard it. And he got a bit uppity about it, and I just put my drink down and fucked off. And I think that was the last time I ever went to any of their dues, as it were.
Yeah. Families, eh? Sometimes it's easier to reconcile with friends than it is with families.
Well, that's what I did. I went out and just made my own life, mate. I thought, well, if they can't be bothered, then why should I? It was always me that made the move if I had to go and see them or something needed to be done.
Just in case you drop out, I've got internet problems.
Have you?
Yes.
I've got. It might be because I've got.
Might just be the laptop, darling. But I'm just putting a warning out there. If you disappear, I've got issues on the laptop. I'm turning off and starting again.
Right, Roger. Make sure you keep moving so we don't think you're frozen.
I was going to say,
no, it's all right.
Looking at me.
She's having internet problems over there, and I'm just thinking I've got two YouTubes open. I've got StreamYard. I've got Discord.
Which stops my laptop working. It's a laptop issue.
Oh, okay.
Just in case it is the Wi-Fi. No.
All right. We might have Wi-Fi issues. Yes, exactly, Holly. Exactly, sweetheart. I gathered the same, and that's why I did what I did. They keep coming in every bloody week, and it's obvious who they are.
It's an American that wants to talk about.
No, it's not an American. It's one of our English trolls.
I think it's a new American troll.
But, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got another bloody letter from Merseyside police over that speeding fine.
All right.
Now, first one they sent through, I had to do a declaration, which Heather did on my behalf.
Yeah.
Stating that I was the driver and your driver's details. So, you know, they know who they're looking at.
Yeah.
The second one come through, pay the fine, which I did.
And send us your details.
And sent them my details. And then today I got a letter saying if I don't reply to this and give them my fucking driver details again, I'll be taken to court and it'd be liable for £100 fine.
It's got lost in the post. These things happen.
Yeah, but I'd already given the details on that declaration. Why can't they just fucking look at that?
Because it's on the wrong piece of paper.
But yeah, I was trying to ring them because there's two numbers you can ring. Obviously, the lines are permanently busy. It's Merseyside Police after all.
Of course.
And yeah, couldn't get any out because I wanted to speak to him, and I was going to be polite and start. Well, yeah, here's my driver's details. And once I'd given them, I was going to be like, well, why do you need them again? Actually,
Yeah.
you know, you've got the case number there, so all the details are in there, including my driver's number, on at least one digital form and one paper form.
Yeah, I think Heather might be right. It's on the wrong piece of paper.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
You know what? My fucking head's really itching like this last few days. No, it's getting back. The hair that they transplanted has now started falling out.
Yeah,
and it's now getting really itchy on the front. That's why I'm wearing this. You see that?
yeah,
Gone.
you'll get a load of little dry patches around where the follicles are and flakes, and
So it's gone red again. Well, it's not gone red again. The hair was coming through, which covered some of the red. Now the hair's falling out before it regrows, and so you can see all the red again. But it's fucking itchy.
Sorry.
Fuck off, lost souls.
Oh dear. Mind you, lobsters go that red when they're cooked, don't they?
Mm. They don't look. Don't all laugh at her. You'll just encourage her.
It's amazing how many people I used to meet that actually think lobsters are red when they come out to sea.
Yeah. You can actually get some red ones that come out to sea.
Yeah.
Not very often, but
No,
some
you
of
can
them
get white
are
ones
red.
as
But
well.
most
You get,
majority are majority are blue, aren't they? Or
Yeah.
grey blue.
Yeah. It's well, it actually, if you look at them underwater, if you're snorkeling or anything, they are quite colourful.
Mm.
They just go very dull when they come out of the water, like a lot of the fish do. But oh, excuse me.
Hey, you guys, have you heard the one about the lobster that walked into the bar?
Go on then.
He ordered a pint, and then the barman jumped over the bar and started beating the crap out of the lobster. And a couple of the customers ran up and said, "Hey, what are you doing? What's the matter?" He goes, "Really, was giving it all this, wasn't he?"
Fucking hell.
The lobster.
In the pub I used to live at out on Pentire Headland in Newquay, it's a big sort of posh restaurant type place now, right out on the headland, the building all on its own. They used to have a lobster tank in the kitchen. If you ordered the lobster, you took the customer in, the chef took them through, they picked their lobster, he would cook it for them. You know, they were live from the tank. That's the best way to cook them. So this customer's gone in. We're just sat at the bar having a beer. And come out, they sat down, bought a drink. And all of a sudden, there's this fucking commotion in the kitchen. The chef's yelling and squealing. And I've gone running in, and he's got these salad tongs with this £1.5 fucking lobster on the end of them, like, you know. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? He said, well, I put my hand in to grab it, like you said, and the bastard come up the tank and it went for me. I said, well, it's banded. It can't hurt you.
Is this the same? You're talking about the same place. You're talking about that place that's on the bit of cliff on its own. You have to get a bridge across.
The Winnick Lodge.
Yeah, that. I had sex on the beach underneath that.
Yeah, there's no beach. It's rocks. The beach is up the other side of it.
Well, yeah, close to, when I say it was close, it was the closest part of the beach to it.
There.
Yeah, that'll be Fistral.
He's not pedantic.
Fistral Bay is where I got rescued by the helicopter.
But literally, I could sit in my living room, and if the waves were big enough at high tide, hitting the rocks below, you could see the waves hitting the window.
Really?
Yeah, it was literally right on the edge of the cliff. My flat. Have I got any pictures? Yeah, I got pictures of it in the album, but I've got no digital ones, which is a shame. But you can look it up on Google. It's Winnick Lodge, it's called. It's beautiful. I mean, the views from it. You look right across Fistral Bay. You can see right across, almost to Padstow, where it goes round the point. You can see right across there on a clear day. It's absolutely, but I think he's gone a bit upmarket now. If it's still him that owns it. But yeah, I spent 4 years living there, I think it was. It used to be a tea room, a little cottage and a tea room. But I could literally 5 steps out beside my front door, and I could cast off the top of the rocks and hit the water. Absolutely gorgeous. Needs a cocktail. Combs his eyebrow. Well, that's why I said if I grow my eyebrows, I can get a straight line across there. And then if I can grow them long enough, I can do a back comb on them. Look like a Wookiee.
There still doesn't seem to be any live streams of anything going on anywhere yet.
No, I've been keeping an eye on it. There's the ones from over there, the city cams and that. But
yeah, there's been a few. There's been a few. I don't know if they are new videos or whether they're from another time, but there's been some videos of people trying to climb the wall to get Israelis, and apparently the army blockade got breached as well by a load. But again, I don't know if that's something that has happened today or not.
You look across Europe. I mean, they've all put their borders up. They're not letting any of these people that are marching across there through. I don't know what's going on with this StreamYard. Normally, I've just got a little countdown clock at the top and how many are viewing, but the countdown clock is red. Yeah,
it says live.
Yeah.
With the countdown clock. Yeah, it's always been red.
Was it? I've never noticed it red.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always been red.
Okay, now. The thing is, I'm trying to learn so many things, like, with that 4K downloader thing I've got now. I did an experiment in yesterday's video. I downloaded something, cut it, edit it, and put that clip in.
Yeah.
And it went brilliant. It's so easy. But what I'm doing now is I'll make me notes as I normally do. Most of them are made up the day before. And the outlines. And then if there's anything breaking in the morning that needs putting out, I'll add that to it. But what I start to do now is the little memes that I put in and clips, I'm looking for those at the same time as I'm making my notes.
Yeah.
And then what I've got is a separate folder in my files where I'll store all those that are relevant to the video. So when I'm exporting them to the editor, I've only got to look in one place. There's not some from this file, one from that file. Yeah. And then once I've done the video, any of the memes I want to keep or the clips, I'll put them under stock or video projects, and then just delete the rest and empty that folder ready for the next video.
Yeah. I've got on my let's open it up. I've got all of my stuff on my D drive, and I've got like PAP reports assets. Right, so I've got a folder called PAP reports assets. So I go into that. I've got an audio folder, an images folder, a raw video folder. So the video that I film here, it goes in as raw
version. Yeah.
And then I've got a video folder for anything that I download that goes into my video. Yeah. So I've got like one folder of assets and 4 folders within that folder with different things, and then I can go through that and delete. Plus, I've also got a folder if I've got an image that I can use for stock image, that goes into a different folder on that drive, and I've got hundreds of pictures in that one. Whether it's
that's what I'm doing.
Stations, force logos.
My worst one was the memes, the cartoons, and that I put in.
Yeah,
because in the beginning, Heather was finding them for me because I wasn't on Facebook, and that's where she was finding them.
Yeah.
So she'd WhatsApp them or email them, whatever, to me, and I'd store them in the computer after taking them off the phone, because I don't do WhatsApp on the computer. But I never, ever named any of the files because I was quite green at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
So once I'd start to learn more, and yeah, I can put stuff on an external hard drive if I want to keep it. I started going through these files and I thought, okay, I'll categorize that. But I saved a lot that I didn't really need to. You know, it's just silly cartoons and drawings.
Oh, it's easy to do. It's easy to do. You know, you think, oh, I might need that, but that's just, you know, it's just in most cases, it's they're like one-off. You know, one-off memes. To be honest, you don't really want to use the same thing over and over again.
No,
I mean,
I
do
new ones every day.
I do. I have to, because I've got, if I'm talking about police forces, obviously I've got certain images of police, you know, headquarters or police force logos or courts. So I use the same images a lot. So I've got a folder of courts. I've got a folder of police logos, force logos, a folder of police stations, if you like, a folder of certain people that always come up a lot, like Sadiq Khan or the head of the Met.
That's exactly what I do.
Yeah,
exactly what I do.
Anything else can go fuck off, and I'll just re-download it.
Well, I did have a day here where because I've got I did have 3 old Windows 7 computers upstairs, which I used to use. And I thought, well, I've got all the mountain biking videos on there. And there's a lot of them that I ain't in because my mate used to download his camera onto my computer and then he'd take off what he wanted and leave his on there. And I opened one up and I looked at it and I thought, oh God, there was something like 1,500 videos, none of them titled, none of them dated other than the date they were recorded. So I'm not fucking plowing through all of them just to look for like 5-minute clips. So I've just left them on the computer up there. Oh, fuck it. But we didn't do a lot of filming back then. He was the only one that had a camera at the time. The ones that I did once I started filming, I have kept them and I do use them now and again. I did make a couple of videos up with them.
Yeah.
But I ain't even been through last year's holiday footage yet because there's fucking hours of it and there's probably only about, you'd be lucky if you can get 1/4 hour video out of the highlights, and that's always somebody else's fucking fish. So it's like, what is it worth trying to go through all that just to show somebody else's fish? Oh no. And we still ain't caught nothing big enough to fucking eat.
There is a big protest going off somewhere in the Middle East. I can't see exactly where.
Oh yeah, that there is all over that area. No, I'm only interested in here. I mean, America's going to go off. That they don't give a shit over there. They will go off, and that's where the most violent ones will be.
Oh yeah.
But you'll also get a space now of the night time where the gangs are running around.
Yeah, I've literally forced myself to stay. I was going to go to sleep earlier for a bit, but I've literally forced myself to stay awake so I can keep.
Steve's gone downstairs now. Look, he's been back to the garage.
I'm only just about 12 feet away from Stitch.
Oh, you're outside.
I can't read the chat and concentrate. I'm a bit dumb in that way, so I have to kind of go off and do my own thing. But the chat's not there anyway.
Vanished to the shed.
You think you've got issues? I have trouble looking at that, looking at this. I keep glancing at that. Plus, I'm looking. Oh, and I'm missing things over there as well. So I thought, rather than distracting myself here, because as you know, I always keep Discord open all day, every day anyway. I've got that open on the laptop.
An invitation for another jab.
An invitation for another jab. Yeah, I got one of them. No, that's confirming my appointment next Friday.
You got one, didn't you?
I've had a
Steve,
few of
the
them
other day?
fucking. I've had a few of them as well.
Jab.
But to be honest,
Jab
that's
was
why I put that in the video yesterday.
about a week ago.
Yeah.
Because I noticed that I've been getting a lot, but I did not notice that opt-out link at the bottom.
Yeah.
But
That's because
that-
nobody ever makes it to the bottom. That's why they've put it there.
yeah, most get deleted. as soon
Yeah,
as-
people will start reading it and going, "Oh, fuck that." Whereas occasionally you'll get the odd person that will read all of it, and then they'll notice it's right at the
Yeah.
bottom.
Afternoon, Andy, or good evening, almost. So I thought, well, I don't know if anybody else keeps getting these emails, but there is an opt-out. I think it was Graham Nutt who was in the chat earlier. Sorry, Graham, I didn't say hello to you there, mate. I did see your name come up. He managed to get his GP to stop sending the texts. But I've asked mine twice here now, what can I do to stop receiving these texts? I've told you openly I'm not having the jab and I'm not having the flu jab. I said, and I'm getting pissed off with them, and how can we turn them off? Oh, well, then you won't get the alerts when your prescriptions have gone through or when an appointment's ready. And they were using all sorts of bullshit excuses. Of course you can block a text. They're just sent out in a block to available numbers. You just take that number off that particular fucking list.
I don't know how to untick the box on the computer. Computer says no.
But I did love it last time I went in because I do like to play them up. I mean, I went in. I was trying to make an appointment because couldn't get through on the phone, and obviously you get the usual. What's the appointment for? And I'd done the usual. Are you medically trained? She said, oh yeah, yes, I know quite a lot. I said, well, it's down to my polycythemia. And she just sat there blank. I said, you ain't got a fucking clue, have you? She just didn't have a clue. She said, well, what's that? I said, well, I'm telling you, asked me what I got, what the problem is. I'm telling you, it's polycythemia. If you don't know what it is, go and look it up. That's what I had to do because you bastards wouldn't tell me what it is.
I've just had a result. I've just had an absolute fucking result. If you saw my post on Facebook about my boy's birthday today.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And in that, I said that I've lost proof that I'd posted happy birthday every year.
Yeah.
Well, I've just had it's just popped up on my memories on Facebook on my account that you know, which is my only account now, the one that you follow. And I've now found it's just, but I didn't realize I posted it. This is in 2020. I posted these, so I've got one from 2018, 2017, 2015, 2010, and 2007. So I've got all those posts to prove that I did do all that stuff.
He'd be able to see them on there if he looked for them anyway, wouldn't he?
He'd have to go back a hell of a lot. Well, we'd have to go back 4 years to see them.
But he could search for them, couldn't he?
No, it doesn't work like that.
No, because he's not tagged in them because I'm not friend. You can't tag somebody you're not. Well, you can, but I couldn't. I didn't have his Facebook at the time, so I couldn't tag him. And I also didn't want to tag him because I didn't want people to know who he was.
Yeah. No. That's fair enough.
So,
that's fair enough. It's keep it private between you. But like you say, if they say, well, you've never been in touch, well, yeah, I actually did.
As a result, that is literally just popped up as I'm sitting here. Just popped up. You have memories.
I think your signal's breaking down out there, Steve. And looking at that wall behind you, you've got to stop them pigeons roosting on that brickwork, mate.
I think we've lost both. We've lost both, haven't we?
Both of them, yeah. Yeah, both
Their
frozen.
Wi-Fi's gone down.
I expect their Wi-Fi's gone down, as Heather just said.
If I stay still long enough, it'll look like I've gone as well.
Yeah, well, do the same. I can't. Oh, it moved. There he is. One of them's moving. Yeah. Oh,
right.
fucking Starmer's speech at the conference.
Yeah.
Absolutely hilarious. He's being ripped apart for it. He stood up there and he said, yes, we fight for the working class. One of the reporters asked him, he said, what's your definition of working class? And he said, it's those that can afford a nice home, a nice car, and some decent holidays. And I'm like, you absolute fucking bellend.
That's nobody.
A working class person today is the one that comes home absolutely fucked because they're doing 2 jobs to keep a roof over their head. They fall exhausted into a cold, dark fucking house if they're lucky enough to have one because they can't afford the energy. They feed the kids maybe 2 meals a day and they're lucky if they get 1 if there's any leftovers. I said, that's fucking working class. What you're talking about there is middle upper class. Somebody posted the speech and that's what I posted in the comments. I'm like, fuck you now.
To be fair, Rog, would that be lower working class?
Yeah, probably.
But anyone who works and lives just more or less a bit beyond hand to mouth could still be working class. Not that distinctions mean so much these days.
Well, it's like us. I mean, yeah, we weren't extravagant, but when we were both working, there were certain things we wanted that we went out and got. If we didn't have the money for them, we didn't have them. You know, simple as that. I mean, yes, over the last few cars, we have had a reasonable car. Now, what I'm classing as reasonable is 5 grand's worth. You know, so you're looking at 10, 11-year-old cars. Yes, it looked like we had a posh one because Heather had the drop top. But
that was only
the
2.
CC, the Focus.
That only cost me 2.
That was only 2 grand. Because we bought it in the winter. The bloke wanted 4.2 for it. I said, you can go fuck yourself. And we looked at it, and the price had dropped to 2 grand. That's what he took for it. So we give it him. And that's the only reason we've got the Focus estate now is because that the insurance, when that one got written off, paid for that one. We had a second car, which was mine, which was very rarely on the road because it was pointless having 2 cars. That was a 99 Peugeot, 1999 Peugeot 206. So we weren't extravagant, but we were both working full time. In fact, Heather earned more than me.
I needed a decent car on the road because I had to be able to get to and from work.
That's it.
So it wasn't about being a posh git, Rob. It was about needing something reliable. Yeah,
Heather's slightly disabled. We've got no bus link outside the house here. The nearest bus stop where she could get to work is half a mile up in the town, which is all uphill, and she'd never be able to walk that far. So she needed a car for work, and likewise with the shopping. We've got no buses past the door, so we'd be down to doing the same as poor Dan does, is taxis. You know? And it just soaks up the money.
My mate's bought a van for 9 grand, and he says it should have cost him 11. So he's going to sell it in 2 years for what and basically make his money back and just have a van for 2 years for free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the way things are going, I mean, yeah, they're going to try and price us off the road with the price of fuel and tax, but they'll never be able to get rid of fueled cars because it just won't happen. They won't be able to produce the energy to make it feasible.
Sorry, Holly. Sorry, Roger. I just want to say, Holly says she drives a Tonka toy. I just want to correct her. Just want to correct that and say it's not a Tonka toy. It's one of those little tykes, red and yellow things.
Did she get it resprayed?
Not the Siberian Tonka toy.
No, the ones with the eyes on the front and the big thick plastic doors that fold out on the side. The yellow roof. One of them.
Someone knows what that meant. Yes, ladies, you all know what I mean by ride the Siberian, don't you?
No.
You don't?
No.
I'll teach you
I
later.
don't either.
No, these are men's comments. Men know what they mean.
Men know what they mean. Well, it's a woman's toy and they buy it and know what it's called, and that's what it's called.
What?
A Siberian. I'll tell you later. I'm not going to go into
I
it.
haven't been shopping for toys for years. I've got you.
Go and look on some of the porn channels and type in Siberian.
No.
Roger, I think I know what you mean. Embarrassingly, humiliatingly, I think I know what you mean. I don't think it's called Siberian, but it's spelt something similar.
Personally, I wouldn't want to use one.
No, they look very uncomfortable.
That's the problem, Steve. You can't remember what it's called, so I couldn't find it.
Who's doing the whispering?
Mitch, you're doing, I think, is it? Or is it Dylan in the background?
And then Holly says she don't know what I'm on about.
Yeah, it's called it begins with SYB, I think. But it's
You know way too much about that, baby.
I've got an awful feeling I've just ruined my new relationship.
Heather sat behind me saying, "That's it. I'm going to Google it."
SYB it starts with.
I'm just going to go make myself a brew. I'll be back in a sec.
All right, mate.
It's a Sabian sex saddle.
Thank you.
Oh, this live stream has just paid for itself with that comment.
And that's come up with symbols.
And the modern version that people build or modify or whatever that you can actually buy is a bloody great mechanical dildo that has got a reach of about 8 inches in and out. The head of it is about the size of a fist. And there you go.
Oh dear.
But that's where it originated. It was a sex saddle with a big lump on it.
Sex saddle.
Honestly, I'm going to have to go and Google that now. Black and Dicker. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dear.
I like that one. I've never thought of that one before.
I'm looking at
shining up your saddle.
which you can buy to go on it.
Oh, yeah. They bill it as a massage machine. But the one that everybody's interested in
it's like
is
a buck and gun kind of thing, isn't it? But,
it looks like everybody's Googling it now by the looks of it.
Viewership's gone down to about 3 of them.
Yeah. Oh,
and they're just the 3 you don't want.
Just when the viewings shoot up by 50 because there's a load of perverts just joined. I said a trigger word.
Apparently you can rent them.
But that is, Ollie, I like that one. I can use that one in future. I've never heard
Black and Dicker.
Yeah.
There's definitely no justice because you can say sex saddle, but you can't use all caps. What kind of a world is this?
Well, I remember a joke which I'll probably get told off for, but I'm going to say it anyway. No offense, Roger. It's a joke from years ago. It was about what do you call an African girl with braces giving you a blowjob?
A rake.
A Black and Decker pecker shredder.
I was going to say dangerous.
Oh,
God.
It's almost as bad as your last one, Steve.
I said at the
Yeah, I
beginning,
can't
we
talk.
have to be careful what we say today because the censors are going to be all over channels with what's going on. Fucking Decker Pecker Wecker. That sounds like something Sid would sing on that Ice Age, isn't it? The slop. Wacka, wacka, wacka. Oh, fuck. Oh dear. Don't start me laughing too much because that makes me dizzy at the moment.
He can quote
What's-
Ice Age. He can quote Ice Age. But when you try talking to him about saving Nemo, hasn't got a clue. Finding
But you know,
Nemo.
you were saying about getting crustaceans out of the tank in the restaurant.
Mm.
There was an awful joke. I might even go even worse, Dan. It's that someone's in a restaurant and then they brought the tank with all the seafood in it, and there's all these squids and octopus in it, and there's one of them which is green and it's got a moustache, and the customer says, "I'll have that one." He goes, "No, you can't have that one." He goes, "Why not?" Because it's my green hairy lip squid.
Oh.
Oh my god.
And it keeps the hands as soft as your ass with mole green toilet paper. Yeah. Well, that lobster tank I was on about, first of all, used to be actually in the pub because we had dogfish in the bottom as well because they do quite well in tanks as a bit of a display. Until somebody's kid tipped a jug of milk in the fucking thing and killed everything in there because you had to keep the solidity right to keep the sea.
Acidity, yeah.
Tipped a whole pint jug of bloody milk in it. And that was
Okay.
when he got moved into the kitchen. But we used to play the chefs up in there, somewhat rotten. I mean, we used to do the fishing, and there was always byproduct. The people on the charter didn't want to take their fish with them, or do you want to take this? No, right, we'll have it. And what we used to do is take it back to the pub. The chef would prepare it all, and we'd just put it on plates like the barbecue. And anybody that wanted anything, they went to the barbecue and cooked it for themselves. And we took him back a conger eel. Absolutely fucking hilarious. Now, for those that don't know, a conger eel can live for up to 2 hours, 3 hours out of water. But they lay nice and quiet usually. So we've dumped this bag of fish in the fucking sink in the pub. Again, there's screams and fucking yells. This conger's got out this fucking bag. It's thrashing around in the sink. The chef's having fucking kittens. He's gone up onto a chair. We've come through the door. There's this conger slithering around on the floor, and he's on a chair screaming like a little girl.
I think I'd be on a chair with a conger on the floor.
But, good evening, Stuart. Did you get your MOT, mate? Did it pass? All right, Para. Didn't see you there, mate.
Holly, you're as close to being a nun as I am to dipping my wick into Megan Fox.
Oh, did you see that? Talking about Meghan Merkel, old Ginger Winger's missus. She's made a big deal with the press, and she's actually cut him out of the royalties on it.
Hang on, what are we talking about here?
Wow.
Ginger Winger's missus, Meghan Merkel. Oh, Prince
Meghan
Harry.
Merkel. Meghan Merkel's, wasn't she Germany Prime Minister or something?
Oh, she's the one that married Prince Harry.
Merkel. What, Merkel?
Markle. I don't know.
Not Angela Merkel.
But the one that married Harry.
Oh, fucking hell, I'm just confused. I don't know.
She's done a deal for, I don't know whether it's a TV series or a book, where up until now they pulled their resource, any royalties they got, earnings from it, they pulled it. So it was both of theirs, but this time she's cut him right out of it. She's keeping every penny.
Wow.
It's just another story I come across. I thought, well, yeah, I've heard it now, but I ain't fucking putting that out on the channel.
That's a future income once they split up.
Yeah, because
talking of books,
he's been cut off.
Talking of books, I've made 2 books.
Oh yeah.
How did they cut?
How did they go?
I have. I've not put them up for sale yet. I've not put them on there yet for sale. Do you want to see them?
Yeah.
Do you want to see what I made? Do you want to see what I made?
All right. I know they're not porn.
It's not. It's not. I made these books last weekend or weekend before? I can't remember. I was sitting here bored out my head, and I was just looking for some stuff on YouTube, and I came across Amazon KDP, which is Kindle Direct Publishing, right? I saw some videos on it, and I thought, some of this is actually pretty easy. So I thought to myself, well, I'll have a fiddle and see if I can learn something new. So in the process of trying to learn something new, I made this, right? Christmas colouring book. Let me just open up this page here so I can. Right, so I made this, right? So it's just a Christmas 40-page fun-filled Christmas colouring book for ages 4+. Guaranteed to keep your little ones busy while you finish off your eggnog on Christmas Day or while you're tucking into your Boxing Day buffet. Not only that, but it will keep them engaged and in an off-screen activity, giving their eyes a break from phone and computer screen glare. And at the bottom there, Independent Media Alliance Limited, which is the company. And yeah, I just made a colouring book for kids to sell on Amazon. All right, Christmas one, because it's coming up to Christmas, obviously. So yeah, so that
That's actually
so that I
pretty
made.
cool.
So
That's really cool.
yeah. So that I made 40 pages of things for kids to colour in. Oh fuck me, and that's the front and back cover that I made. Then we have, where the fuck is it? Then we have the other, what they call they call them low content books, which is why I thought I'd give them a crack, because you're not reading anything, okay, as such. So it's low content colouring books or diaries, things like diaries. So I thought I would also make a journal. So, as it says on the back, in the bustling chaos of our daily lives, it's easy to become entangled in a web of responsibilities, expectations, and distractions. We navigate through a relentless sea of moments, often forgetting to pause, reflect, and appreciate the journey we're on. This journal, a sanctuary for your thoughts and emotions, has been crafted as a timeless companion on your quest for self-discovery, self-improvement, and self-compassion. Contains 298 usable pages with a daily reflective, empowering or affirming quote to help give you strength and encouragement for when you may find yourself struggling. And that, hang on a sec, let's open up page so I can flip through. And that just has, again, pages inside for people to write stuff down. So at the top of every page, it's got, I mean, that just is like tells you what the journal is for. And at the top of every page, it's got like a little quote to.
I really like that. I'm gonna get that.
So, like, success is a journey, not a destination. Today, you can make a difference. Life's magic is in the little moments. Trust yourself. Trust your journey. Trust yourself. You are worthy of all you desire. Your thoughts shape your reality. All of this, and people can just put the date in and write about their day. Or about what's going on in their lives. Oh, fucking hell! Get me off screen quick. So I made them two books. Took me a weekend. You might think to yourself, "Fucking hell, it's easy." I had to pay to join some places to get like the pictures, for example, some direct print pictures which are copyright free and stuff like that. So I had to do that. But if I can do things like that and just chuck them out on Amazon, even if I only sell a few a month, if I can get a dozen of those kind of books on there, that's a few quid extra a month that's just trickling in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
not too much outlay after you've paid the non-copyright people off. It's not too much outlay.
Yeah, no, it's a monthly fee. To be fair, it's a monthly fee, but one of the places that I've registered for has got images for practically everything. so I won't have to. Oh, wrong one. I won't have to. Oh shit! What's going on? Hang on a sec. Playing live. That's what I want. So I won't have to outlay anymore. So all I need to do is get enough books to sell to cover the cost of that and make a few quid on the top. But yeah,
money,
That's brilliant, man.
so
I'm just going to mute my mic a minute, Dan.
All right, mate.
And did you write the blurb for them, Dan? When you were saying about like the intro to the reflection thing?
Yes.
Were they your own words?
Those are, yeah.
Oh, right. I thought it was very good. I was wondering if you'd copy pasted them or something because it was well written.
No, that.
Not that
No,
I should
that
be
was.
surprised.
Oh, thanks. No,
It just sounded so very really professional. That's all I'm saying.
And I'm back.
Backtracking.
Hey Dan, when you've got that book for sale, will you send me a link to it?
I will.
Thank you.
If we can buy it, can we send you our finished pieces for you to display on a live stream? Well, I want to do some different colouring book. I want to do some adult ones as well. I mean, that was just a kid's one to talk about. Not. Oh, if you're laughing at my adult comment there, I don't mean adult as in that kind of colouring book. I mean,
I say you only need two colours, don't you? Pink and white.
depends. If I'm going to be inclusive, you might need some browns.
40 shades of pink. No, 50 shades, isn't it? 50 shades of pink. Oh, for fuck's sake. So you know what you started now, don't you? Oh, that's right. I'll have my revenge on Sunday night.
Bringing the stream down. Talk of adult colouring books.
Oh dear. Well, I don't know whether it actually Ollie. I forgot what
I don't think there is 50. I don't think there is 50 shades of flaps, to be honest. Maybe half a dozen.
I call this doing a pack now when I do it when Heather's here, when I've just totally got lost where I was.
My fault for getting a text message and disrupting you.
Yeah, she just got a message from a mate of ours who's going to pop in later, that's all. He knows I go live till about 7 anyway, so he shouldn't walk in the middle of it. Well, he'd be working till probably 6. So. Nipples from around the world.
They won't let me sell that kind of thing on Amazon.
Yeah, Moo. All you got to do is say, ask them to check DVLA for an update on it. They should pick it up. If it's that long ago, there's no way you're liable for a speeding ticket. Sorry, Dan.
No, that's all right. Yeah, when I say about the adult colouring books, the patterns that has got like really intricate patterns and really small bits to colour in and stuff. I can't remember what they're called now. There's a specific name for them.
Mandelas.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah, well done, thank you. So I want to do one like that for, it's not something that kids will colour in.
Can you do some for me? With the numbers.
Numbers.
I promise to stay between the lines if you make them thick enough. I was trying to do something like that on Arthur. It was absolutely hilarious. You know how I'm trying to use all this stuff I'm finding to indicate in the videos. Well, I got that. It's like a paint shop thing. I don't quite know what it's called. Will it come up with its name? Paint 3D.
Right, yes.
And I also found I've got it on my camera photos as well, where you can use the pen to outline things. Various colours and shit like that. Do you think I could keep that straight to draw a speech bubble? It's like, yeah. With the mouse.
Well, thankfully, you don't need to draw a speech bubble now because it's got it in that software that you've got.
Yeah, stickers.
Yeah.
Stickers, isn't it? And then you write what you want on the speech bubble. They got all the different shaped ones.
That's it.
Yeah, see, I've been looking.
You're learning.
Yeah. I've even found it in the effects where I can, you know, put a lightning bolt across the screen or pixelate it, and yeah, there's a lot on there I haven't looked into. But the trouble with me is there's too much choice on there for me.
Well, I'll tell you what. Sorry, what's gone?
I have a problem making a choice if I'm giving too many options.
Right.
And as of yet, I can't find anywhere in CapCut on the effects and that and transitions where you can store most used or store favorites. Like,
Yeah, I don't think there is.
no, I had there's trending, so I presume if you use one regular, it's going to appear in there.
No.
I think that's trending is what's being used across
the whole
everybody.
Everybody else.
Everyone using it, yeah.
Yeah. At the
Tell you
moment,
what
to write in a list of which section they're in.
Well, what I tend to do is rather than trying to think of things to do, I do my videos, or I was doing my videos, and then if I thought of something, I'd then go and see if it was there. I wouldn't go looking for it prior to needing it, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because once you start doing that, you end up down a rabbit hole, and you're like, oh, let's try this one. Oh no, hang on a minute, let's try that one and that one and that one, and you spend 4 hours just looking for something that you don't even necessarily need at that moment in time.
Yeah, I tend to use the ones I use. I tend to use the same ones over and over because I like them. The transitions.
Yeah.
The stickers, yeah, I only go and find them as I need them. And again, I can load them up ready. But I've actually started to use 3-track editing now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it goes up to 4 or 5. That one, the free one. So I'm starting to add stickers, banners, and stuff like that. And I'm adding to these every now and again when I've learned how to do it. I go, okay, I've got a video there, right? I could put that in. So I'll go and find it in the editor, put it in, see what it looks like, and if I like it, I'll leave it in there.
Yeah, that's enough IT talk, Jack.
You know? Yeah.
What was that? What did I miss then?
Heather said that's enough IT talk, Jack, because that's what I keep telling you. But yeah, it's easy for youngsters when they know it all. You know, for us oldies trying to learn it, it's a nice thing to learn. I must admit, I do have some fun with it. Heather gets fucked off with it because come on, look at this, look what I've done here, look at this, oh, look what this does.
Yeah, it's like years ago when I was learning to build websites using HTML. What I used to do is well, getting an echo. What I used to do is I knew people, right, obviously, and I would just make them a web page just on its own, and I'll upload it to a website that I brought, and I'd do that just to practice. So I remember this one girl who loved Maltesers.
Yeah, it's that echoes Stephen
still coming, isn't it?
The other's voice.
So so it's like I made an entire Maltesers themed website for this girl. Granted, I was trying to bang her, but I made, so it's just I just done what I needed to do at the time. Practice by doing something in the real world, so to speak. So rather than, as I say, rather than sitting there and trying to think of something that was never really going to be used, or it was just to test with no reason, I always found myself down a rabbit hole and finding myself causing myself problems. But if it was something that I needed at the time, then I'd do it because I could concentrate on it more.
Yeah, there's still things in there that I haven't even looked into. So, like you say, unless I need them, my videos are getting a little bit added to them each time now anyway. And, like today, while I was in the backstage waiting for it to go live, that's when I was messing around and found out about the banners. I found them last week, but I didn't have time to go into them. So I went on into the studio like 10 minutes early and I've been playing with that.
Yeah.
It's it's all a learning curve. It's And that is nice because you can store the banners and you can just click on which one you want up there.
Mm-hmm.
Which I didn't even know you could highlight the comments till a few weeks back. I just accidentally flicked the mouse across and it come up as like show. What the fuck's that all about? So I clicked on it. And boom. And that's how I learn things. By mistake. Right from my birth. Because that was the biggest fucking mistake they ever made.
I'm not going to tell you my biggest mistake.
Yeah, I know. I'm sat here.
Oh, bless Roger.
She tells me often enough.
You don't have to live with him, Dan.
The burping, farting machine, isn't it? It's like I've got a hell of a problem with gas. Now, sometimes I just can't control it. And before I've just sat here and I'll be chatting away, and all of a sudden it's well, what do you think of? It's like, what the fuck?
They've all seen you online.
And mine aren't exactly subtle.
They know.
And think yourself lucky it's not smell-o-vision. Mind you, they're working that in AI now, aren't they?
I don't have to watch his video because he tells me today what he's going to put in tomorrow's video. Then tomorrow he tells me about his video, and then he tells me about the comments he gets on his video. So, yeah. Okay.
She has to put up with it. That's why she lays in bed so long, so she don't have to listen to most of it.
You might want to come down.
But yeah, it's again at my age, it's something new, and it's not as if I ain't got the time to learn it now. To be honest, it keeps my brain going. That's one of the things with it.
Yeah,
keeps the old hamster wheel fed, like.
Hiya, Pat.
Even Patriot, Bulldog. Even during my recovery from the bypass, I was just stagnating because I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And that was when I started doing the model planes again, because it was something I could sit at the table and do. I didn't have to move around. All the bits I wanted came by post. And when I felt up to a good day, I'd take one around the field and fly it. Well, crash it, if I'm honest. But very few of them survived to the big sale at the end of it all in one piece. England for the English. Obviously, don't say anything on here, but if there are any plans or anything that anybody wants to put out about Scampton, you can always get in touch with me personally through the channel. There are some contacts in there. Yeah, I saw it, mate, because Active got lifted as well, and Yorkshire Rose, didn't she? Yeah, he was, Stuart. All on bullshit charges again.
Yeah. Anything to lob some bail conditions on you.
Yeah, they're doing exactly what they done down at Stradley. They're singling them out. They know the ones that stream. They know the ones that are up for the crack, and they're the ones they go after.
Yep.
But the security, the video got put up. They actually attacked one of the guys. They 2 or 3 of them pinning him against the fence, and the other big one was laying in with the fist.
Really?
Yeah, the police wouldn't do nothing, even when we've got the video of it. They wouldn't do a fucking thing. Oh, if they done it in front of us, we'd arrest them. Doesn't matter. The evidence is there, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? They committed an offence. It's an assault. No matter which way you look at it, whether you were there or whether you see the video footage, it's plain to see what happened. Can't put out stuff within 200 meters. Yeah, they've cut down the distance then, because most of them, same as in Dover, they got banned from the whole pet levels, didn't they? the likes of Nobby and Active. And it Stradley, that they gave one woman a restraining order. She wasn't allowed within 100 yards of it. So fair play to the guys. They measured 100 yards from the gate, drew a line on the road. Police tried to nick her for breaking her bail conditions. Said, fuck off, that's 100 yards there, mate. I'm not breaking any conditions.
It's still questionable whether police bail conditions are actually legal or not.
Well, yeah, because they're putting restrictions on what is supposed to be, at the time, an innocent person.
Yeah. Plus, the only people really that, especially when it comes to restricting your human rights, which your right to travel and your right to do certain things, the police will give you those restrictions. The only people that can restrict you from doing those things are a court.
Yeah.
Not the police, but we accept that the police can put these restrictions on us, unfortunately, because they've done it for so long. But it's been up in the air for a long, long time whether or not police should be able to give bail conditions. I mean, don't get me wrong. If it's things like domestic violence, then yes, you can't go near the person, you know, which makes absolute sense, right? Or if there's an investigation going on, you can't go near another person who might be involved or who might be a victim. That makes absolute sense. That's, you know, that's not infringing anybody's human right or whatever as such. But restricting people from like a 200-meter range area, which means you might not be able to go to a shop, it means you might not be able to go and visit your family, for example. I mean, that kind of thing I think is it definitely needs challenging, and England for the English says that they're challenging them. Good.
Yes, he was. He got banned from the whole of Wales. That was over Penally.
Yeah, see, that definitely needed challenging.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, it's too wide a spread.
You know, that's like the entire country basically that you're banned from.
Yeah, not well. Bulldog just said they're Nobby's still banned from Wales.
You know.
But they went after him big time. I mean, he's only a little guy. He's only 5 foot nothing, skinny little thing. He's an ex-forces. He's a veteran. And the Met in London gave him such a fucking kicking. They put him in hospital.
Yeah, I heard, didn't they damaged his arm or something, didn't they?
Yeah,
Dislocate
they wouldn't identify the copper that did it. They banded together and wouldn't identify him. Strung it out for months and months and months. And that's what we're facing nowadays. That they're not a police force. They're just a big gang of thugs that are working for the government.
Yeah,
they don't uphold the law anymore. They don't abide by it, and they're just not worth any ounce of respect anymore, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, I haven't respected them for a long time, but
I wouldn't piss on one if they was on fire unless my piss was made of gasoline.
Exactly. I said that a long time ago. But yeah, Stuart's right there. We talked about this the other day. And they want the streamers out of the way at these protests.
Which is why everybody needs to have their camera out. Everybody needs to try streaming if they can.
Yep.
I know not everybody's got, platforms to stream to. But everybody really should try and either get an account or stream to somebody else's account.
Well, as you know, I've always put links to the Patriots channels and that in the description under every video. I always have them. It's something I believe in. Unfortunately, as I've explained before, same with the other protests that I used to cover. Physically, I can't get there, otherwise I would.
Yeah.
Financial restrictions as well. But even the ones down in Birmingham here, I know if I'd gone down to them, I'd have got lifted, because the coppers would have only had to said one thing to me and that's it. I'd fly off the fucking handle at them. I couldn't even contain myself down here at the fucking shopping centre during lockdown. What am I going to do in the middle of a protest?
I'm about to get told off by Stitch. Yep, there we go. I knew that because I saw the way you looked at the camera and I knew you'd seen my comment. You looked at the camera and then turned around to type. So I knew that was coming at me then.
I was laughing. I wasn't telling you off. I thought it was funny. She's a bit of a rat. Aren't you, baby?
Mine's asleep behind the laptop.
I saw
Yeah,
some.
I've seen you still getting the footage out, Bulldog. I do watch it most days.
I saw some kittens to be rehomed at the local shelter today, but I've promised myself I won't get one until I move. But they were fucking lovely.
I just scan past them on Facebook now. I'm like, no. Occasionally she'll come down or look in, and I'm sat there with some kittens on the screen watching them play. I wasn't allowed anywhere near the daughters when the cat over there had the litter. I hadn't been allowed anywhere near them. They've all been homed now.
Both of them.
Both of them. But yeah, I wasn't allowed anywhere near them. Yeah, okay. But no, I don't think this one would tolerate another one in the house anyway. Even a kitten. You know, her maternal instinct might sort of come up, but she's that old that she's a right cantankerous little bitch.
Yeah. Well, I think I either want to get two cats, two kittens, or once I've moved, a dog and a kitten.
Yeah,
Puppy.
it's nice for them to have company.
Yeah.
I mean, when we got her, because she was the daughter's cat originally, and she also had a staffy. Now, they came and lived with us for a while. And, of course, there was always competition between food. Obviously, any cat food out, the dog's going to be strayed in there.
Yeah.
So the cat used to slink off and just do its own thing. But I started playing with her, and she used to come and lay on my lap, and she really took to me. So when the daughter moved out, once they got the house, she took the dog with her and left the cat with me. But in the meantime, while we had them both here, the dog had a litter. And what was it, 9?
Yeah.
I had 9 staffy puppies here to cope with. She had a litter of, 6, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Before we got her done. But 9 staffy pups, mate, running around the place, all trying to curl up on your lap. Oh, it's a nightmare.
You loved it.
Absolute friggin' nice, lovely little dogs, but
it was a coin flip. Although I was going to coin flip, but I didn't have any 3-sided coins, so it was either two kittens, a kitten and a dog, or an XL bully and a toddler.
Well, personally, I would go with cats and kittens, because if you're going out for a day or even a weekend, as long as they got access to food and a litter tray, you can leave them on their own for a few days. You know.
I know.
You can't do that with a dog.
I think you missed that. Lost Souls got it. Lost Souls got it.
I was ignoring
two kittens, a puppy and a kitten, or an XL bully and a toddler.
Oh. Mind you, I used to play with Patrick Head's Rottweiler, the guy who used to be the top boy at Williams. So we used to do his gardens for him. And they had, it's the biggest Rottweiler I've ever seen. I mean, the fucker used to probably weigh 17, 18 fucking stone.
Yeah.
But it was like a kitten. It was as daft as fuck.
Are you talking about me?
Doberman can be like that as well.
I've always said there's no bad dog, there's just bad owners. There are dogs that have issues, mental issues, and they can be nasty. But a good owner will spot that.
Every dog's got the potential to bite.
Yeah.
Every dog, because they're wild animals still. They are. You know, they're domesticated wild animals. So they've all got that fucking they've all got that in their DNA. But again, as Roger says, it's to do with how you treat them, how they're brought up, how they are taught to, behave. It's like kids. If you don't teach a kid not to bite and spit and shit like that, what are they going to do? They're going to go bite and spit.
I mean, you get your snappy ones. like Holly got the Chihuahuas, you got your Terriers. They're well known for being snappy, but most of the time it's a warning.
That's because them kind of dogs are always off their head on cocaine or something. That's why their eyes are popping out their skull.
It's when you see
Chihuahua.
the detection dog walking up like this, isn't it? You think, hey, hang on a minute, you've had too much, son. But we used to at Reading at the festival. I used to wind them up a fucking tree. I'd put a lump of solids in the palm of my hand and hold it in with my thumb.
Right.
And I'd deliberately walk up to the dog and start stroking it and playing with it. And of course, it could smell it, and it would do the wind up. The dog would start moving about. And the coppers 9 times out of 10, look, fuck off, leave the dog alone and just push me through the gate. I did it one year. I had about half ounce tucked in the palm of my hand.
Whereabouts are you now, Missy? If you don't mind saying. I used to run around certain areas of Benfleet many years ago. 30 years ago? 25, 30 years ago?
Yes, Holly, you do have to understand the dog even to train it.
Bracknell. Right. Well, I'm obviously looking to move back to Southend. But they're taking a piss.
Oh, hello. Got some...
Can you fit in a visit to the council office while you're there?
It's not going to make a difference. It's really not going to make. They don't give a shit. They do not give a shit. Do you know what? They put on all their paperwork for the housing office and emails. They've got phone number on there. So when you phone them up, they go, hello. And I said, I'd like to speak to the housing office, please. And they go, oh, I'm sorry. They don't take phone calls. I'm like, why's the fucking number on the letter then, you dumb fucks?
Yeah. So you turn up and you get to see somebody and get somebody that you can talk to because you can't turn up.
No, I've got my psychiatrist wrote she hasn't written a letter yet. She's done the appointment notes and she sends that to the doctor and she sends a copy to me as well. So I'm going to photocopy that and send that to the housing, which explains some things. And within that letter, it actually states that she'll write me a letter because she doesn't believe the council have taken my condition seriously. So then once I get that letter, I will forward that on as well. And it seems they will only deal with people through email. Unfortunately, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and every time they send you an email, it's do not reply to this email, and you've got to go round the trees to find another one to reply to it.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I've given up with them with the maintenance on this place. I do what I can. But it's going to blow up before long because I know the canopy over the front door is going to fall off at some point, and that's 1/2 ton of concrete. But yeah, they just ain't bothered. I mean, this house has needed a new roof before I moved here 25, 30 years ago when Edda first moved here. It needed a new roof, and the contractor's done the whole street. Missed this one and fucked off and did a cash job with the materials. Now, the council agreed 10 years ago that this roof was condemned because they had to repoint the stack. And he said the roof's fucked. And he put in a report. And I heard nothing. So I rung him up and all I kept getting was, oh, you're in the program. You're in the program. So I fucking give up. I said, I'll wait till the fucker falls in then. I said, and then it will cost you more to fix it. Because when I thought I was going to get the inheritance, because I was going to look into buying it from the council, and obviously the worse the condition of it, the cheaper you'd get it.
Yeah. Missy, I lived in Rayleigh Avenue in Westcliff, and also on the corner of Electric Avenue. And I used to hang around not far from Sadler's Farm. Around the high road. I can't remember the exact names of roads and stuff. It's that long ago.
But the only one that comes in here that knows the areas I used to hang around as a young'un is God Bless. Believe it or not. He knew all the nightclubs that I used to hang around back in the day in Swindon, and because that was sort of 20 minutes bike ride from us.
Yeah.
It was Swindon or Oxford, basically, unless you wanted to go to Newbury, but yeah, they very rarely do any big programs like that round here now, Missy. We're lucky to get anything, but we haven't had the annual inspection for 2 years. So
annual or anal?
Hey?
Annual or anal?
Oh, they used to come round and, you know, take notes and what's broken and what have you, the state of the decoration in the place. And they used to do it religiously every year. We haven't seen them for 2-3 years now. So I've got a big list.
Sure, if it wasn't for the fact I just looked up and saw your previous comment, I would wonder exactly what you was talking about there. Took 4 millimeters off the tip, no nerve endings, got a claim of 12k from the homeowners. If I'd have just read that and not seen your previous comment, I would be very concerned.
I'm not broken yet, wee one. I've only had one intrusion up there, and that was when I was 13, 14, and that was a doctor. I had testicular torsion.
Same as
Westminster Drive. Yeah, I know Westminster Drive, Missy.
Very painful.
You were trained never to put your fingers anywhere near the letterbox flap. It's a shame they don't teach you not to put your willy in there, isn't it? I had that problem when I was a postie.
Yeah, it's when you see them teeth on the side of the glory hole, then you start thinking.
I don't know why.
Testicular torsion's coming from.
You want to make like a guillotine. You want to go in, you know, the public toilets where there's glory holes, right? When you're going in there for a piss and somebody goes in the cubicle next to you, you should have like a little guillotine thing, like razor blades. And the fucker pokes it, when he pokes it through, he's got chop it off with his head.
That could be another book that you could write down. You could publish a book on how to do that, how to DIY cock guillotines.
It'd be wasted time with me if I got to go through 2 inches of cavity wall. There ain't going to be much poking out the other fucking side for anybody to enjoy. Oh dear.
Oh.
Honestly, how my brain works.
See you later, Holly. I'm gonna have to go shortly because I'm fucking tired. Keep going.
I've just got a vision making it look like a little monk with one of them little rings of hair just round the head. It looked like a fucking chimney sweep brush going.
Okay.
You don't want the hair around the tip. Fucking hell. Imagine how uncomfortable that would be.
Oh, fucking Uncle Red.
Got a spare room.
Just put a bit of stick round it and drag it along the carpet, Roger.
If this is anyone's first time listening to this stream, it's not always like this.
No, it's not always like this. It's
Mostly,
when he's
but not always.
Most of the time, not all the time.
You think this is bad? Just find us after 11 o'clock on Police Abuse and Powers Line.
All I'm saying is clam packet.
Oh dear. Shush. This is why I like Fridays. It gets me away from the doom and the gloom. Although we talk about it, it's just
right. I've just decided. Well, not just a few minutes ago, because I hadn't published those 2 books yet. I hadn't put it through to Amazon to check and make sure that they're okay. Because I've been I made them and I've been sitting here. You know when you're not very confident about yourself or what you've done and stuff like that. That's why I've been sitting on them for the last week. just wondering whether I should actually bother or not.
No, unless you try, mate.
No, well, you know, I know it's a small section of people, but you know, the people in the comments said that they looked good, so I thought, well, bollocks.
Yeah.
So
I told you that when you said about it last week. I think
I
it was.
know, but still, it just plays. You know, I've never done it before, never done anything like that before, and it's just something new. And so I thought, fuck it. So I've just.
Are you putting your own name on them, or are you using a pseudonym?
No, it's just based under Independent Media Alliance. It doesn't need to be a name because they're no content books. It's a colouring book, so I've just put some people will put their name on. I didn't see the need for that. I've just put the Independent Media Alliance on there.
You ain't going to lose nothing by trying, mate.
So,
no,
it's simple little things like that sometimes that take right off.
Yeah. Well, what I want to try and do is I want to try and put a book together. I mean, I'll have to speak to people about what areas of policing, for example, they would like a short, like Rob Warner, Crime Bodge. He done a book on how to do certain things when it comes to the police. Now, there's got to be people out there that have got issues with certain things that the police do, and how do I do this and how do I do that? Well, I could do some 30-page books, for example, on how to do
frequently asked questions, almost sort of thing.
Well, like how what should I do if I'm fucking nicked at a riot or a protest, or and what your rights are and what to watch out for and what the police aren't allowed to do, or that kind of thing.
Yeah. Information. Well, it was like that one that Rex won in the comp that time and sent to me, a little book like that. Just the information on one relevant subject of the police, and you could do a series of them.
Yeah.
Stop and search, vehicle stop and search, spot checks, exclusion zones. There's any manner of things you could put in them.
Yeah, yeah.
It's going back years and years and years ago. I used to write not biker stories, but like biker fantasy stories, just short stories, just magazine based. Most of them just got thrown in the bin, but I had one or two of them that were put in a magazine, and I'm like, well, why didn't I keep all them? Because I had folders and folders full of them.
Yeah.
I could have quite easily put like a short story book together with some of them. And that's the reason I keep all my videos, and why I do that video diary on the hard drive, on the external one. You could go through that and almost write a book if you were listening to all the videos.
Yeah.
My history, as it were.
What, your internet history? That'd make an interesting book.
Well, that's why I leave all my cock-ups in, because it's all there.
Yeah.
He hasn't got a browser history, Dan. He doesn't do that.
To us. Sorry, Dan, I'm just reading a couple of
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm the same as you. I'll concentrate on what's going on up there, and I lose touch what's going on here, and then something will move over there and distract me.
It's awkward, Missy, to do a personalised one because I'm not printing them myself. If I was going to do a personalised ones, I'd literally have to make a book with every single name, like a book for every single name, which would take fucking forever. I know I've only got to make the book and then change the name, but the amount of names there are, and then I've got to go through the process of uploading it to Kindle, Amazon publishing. So it would take absolutely forever. If I was printing it myself, it's different. I'd be able to do personalize them that way, but it's impossible to do through Amazon. But no, it was just something, just testing it out, just trying it out. I thought, fuck it, do you know what? Let's see if I can do this. I like to try and learn different things where I can, and knowing how to publish a book on there now. means that in the future, if I want to do something like that, or I can even help other people do it. So it's always good to learn.
Well, it's a little, what you call it, home industry, isn't it? But only you don't really have to do any physical work for it.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, go for it, mate. You never know. Weirder things have happened. Yeah, who would have thought that a book about some little kiddie wizards and shit would have took off? And look where that led to. You know, same with Lord of the Rings. That all started as one little book and one idea. Yeah, I know there's no comparison, but the thing is, now I don't think there's a lot of the older generation. I know people like Loafer do, but I don't think people buy books like they used to. You know?
Not physical books. They generally don't buy physical books.
Yeah.
It's more, a lot of people have these e-readers and Kindles now, don't they? Or audio books and stuff.
I mean, at the beginning of each school year, we used to be given a list of books that if we didn't go and buy, we had to go and take out the library and read, because it was something that was going to be brought up through the lessons and that.
Yeah.
And they used to do it that way and class it as homework, because then it left more of the lesson for actually teaching like they used to back then, rather than reading through the book and then teaching or taking questions. Everybody's supposed to know. And the books we used to have, like Kes, the one with the young lad and the kestrel, that was actually on our reading curriculum.
Who was it said Kes was about a sparrow?
Believe it or not, in later years, for a year, I can remember 1984 being on it. Believe it or not.
Yeah,
that was actually on the curriculum at our school, because that was the first time I ever read it.
I've got that. I've actually got that on audiobook.
I've got a paperback. I think it's what is that, second edition?
Sorry, yeah.
Second edition on paperback, one of the originals that Heather found for me on the internet. Fair enough, and she bought it a few years back for Christmas.
Yeah,
as one of my presents, and it's
on the DVD.
And yeah, along with that, she got me the DVD of the new version of it with John Hurt, which I recommend if anybody can get hold of a copy. Watch it; it's fucking brilliant.
John Hurt and Richard Burton.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I've got the DVD.
Second edition. But yeah, that new one, the new film. I mean, the colorized version of the original was pretty good, but that new one is, it's something else. It really is, and it goes more into not what's happening around them, but more of the brainwashing side of it, the correcting think and stuff like that, and in a more modern setting as well. They've got helicopters and all sorts of things.
They haven't got mobile phone.
No, well, I'll tell you what, the day Alexa turns round and says to me, empty your pockets and let me see what you've got in there, it will be the day she goes out the fucking window.
Rob, it was a kestrel, not a falcon. Kes.
That's why it was called Kes.
All day, but they're talking about the Post. Yeah, that was, and it weren't until quite a few years after that I actually watched the film. But it was quite a big thing at the time. There was another one as well. I can't remember what it was called now. Nah. Kes always sticks in my mind. 1984 always sticks in my mind.
Kes was made from the book A Kestrel for a Knave.
Yeah.
I mean, get what they used in
what
the
were
film.
We? 13, 12, no, even younger than that. Probably 11, 12-year-olds. And I remember, because it was at primary school, we actually used to sit and watch the series The World at War. every week. And, they used to show the Holocaust and what have you, and the bodies and everything. And they used to show that at primary school back then. I distinctly remember it. It was on one of these learning channels that they had back then. We still only had the BBC and ITV then, but there were independent things that the schools could use to, play these things. And yeah, we watched the whole series while we were at primary school. And nobody else has ever said they've seen it at school. Scum, yeah, that was a good one at the boarding school. And that was what they were like back then as well. Clockwork Orange went a bit far. There were gangs like that, but there's a lot more films like that come out now, like the one made here in Brum. What was that one called? The gangsters here.
Oh, Black Country.
Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders.
That's not a very well-known story. I mean, I'd never heard of it. Yeah, it's weird.
Lost connection there. Sorry about that.
That's right, mate.
Will be. You fucking will be, son.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. What can I do? It's out of my hands.
If your name's not on the list, you ain't coming in.
Brutal.
Right, Roger.
Sean Marley, welcome, whoever you are, if you're in it.
Roger, I wanted to hang around till Holly got back, but I'm fucked, man.
No, that's all right, mate. That's all right. Okay, nobody's under any obligation to come in here whatsoever.
No, I know that, but
I appreciate you all that do.
I wanted to wait for
Health
Holly to
comes
get
first,
back.
anyway.
Right? I've hit a wall. I need to get some sleep, which is terrible because it's a really bad time of the day to get to sleep because I'll wake up about 10 and then be up till about fucking 4 o'clock.
Would you have a coffee maybe, Dan? Try and stick it out for another hour. Maybe have a strong coffee and try and stick it out.
I was really weird yesterday. Now, most of the week I've been going up to bed about 9, half 9. And last night it was about midnight. And I actually managed to stay in bed. So what time did I get up? About 6 this morning?
I didn't look, I just rolled over.
Yeah, I was up about 6. I was awake at about 4. But my legs didn't start playing up for a few hours. So I was quite happy laid there. But yeah, they've been aching anyway because of all the exercise this week. But no, if you want to get off, mate, that's no issue with that whatsoever.
All right then, mate. I will speak to you. Well, maybe later on this evening, if not tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Heather, I'll speak to you later as well, my dear.
No problem, my darling. Go and have a snooze.
Steve, speak to you soon. Nice to see you. And you guys in the chat, nice to see you all. And I'll see some, if not all, tomorrow, 8 o'clock over on my channel for a live stream. Sunday. Oh, yeah, it's Friday today and it's Sunday, I meant, yeah. With that said, I will catch you all later.
All right, buddy. Have a good rest.
See you later, Dan.
See you later.
Right then, what's been going on in the chat? Oh, does anybody know how to get rid of these frigging pop-up things that are going up and down the chat? Oh, I haven't had them for weeks, and all of a sudden they're back again. It's really annoying because when you're looking at things, and the moderators click on, same as everybody else, on the 3 dots, and you can't get anywhere near the bottom 2 comments because of them frigging heart things. It activates them.
Oh, the heart thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
How you get rid of? Are you allowed to get rid of them then?
I don't know.
I've never found any way to get rid of them.
Didn't you?
They're in the wrong
You
place.
fool.
Can't move them.
Yeah, if they were down at the bottom of the chat line or something like that, fair enough. But it's just right in the wrong bloody place. Right, I just want to have a look at something. Oh, what the fuck did I do there?
So, Steve, I see you visiting again.
He's in the shed. I don't think he can. I think he's lost his connection.
I think that was a problem with you guys earlier. You were too close together. Right.
Yeah, I'll come a bit more in the kitchen now, so.
You don't get to see any, Stuart.
No, if you don't have the icon showing on my phone, I don't get it. I don't get the option to be able to click on it, and I don't see them. But on the computer now, I do. It's a bloody nuisance.
Yes, Mrs. W. I'm visiting again. It's turned into something of a habit.
Well, there you go. Look, I'll press the 100. Now that's going up the screen, or it should have done.
Only though, no, it's not going up mine.
Oh, fuck it. I just don't understand that.
But there you go. Can you see my party blower?
Yeah, I saw that going up. Yeah, there's another
and
lot.
then a smiley face.
Yeah.
And then some hearts.
Yes, Stuart's saying is normal. The chat's normal on this tablet.
You either have the button that you can press, like somebody else is doing now, probably Holly, just for the hell of it, or Stitch. But if you've, maybe it's hybrid, if you've got...
Highbox can see them.
Yeah. There's no logic to having them or not having them, and I don't know how you turn them on or off. So if anybody finds out, let us know, please.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's annoying. I mean, Holly did look into it, and she couldn't find a way of turning them off. But they're so fucking random. I mean, I haven't had them for what, 4 or 5 weeks. I haven't had them on Dan's lives. Now all of a sudden today they're back.
I've had them every week. You were lucky. Stop complaining.
Yeah, it's the same as I get alerts on that computer, but I don't get them on this one. It's yet all the settings are identical.
Something will be different somewhere, buried
it's
somewhere.
me and the tech, innit? We're just not compatible, as we know.
Yeah, you're not compatible with anything.
I've got a brain the size of a planet and I get press the buttons right. Those of you that know will know that reference.
Would you like a nice piece off my rump?
A nice piece off my rump. Will you come to the, was it a restaurant at the end of the universe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, let's have a quick refresh over here. And there are no lives. Oh, no, that's because it's on all. Okay. Oh, here we go. Live Palestine. Defend the campuses. That's American. No, nothing from this country. Oh, look, there's my live. Oh, hello.
Yeah, you're live.
Crazy Bulgarian's got something going there.
Yeah, he's got a load of streams going from different places, but they all look like they're abroad, apart from France and the Middle East.
Yeah, the France one, it's just a rerun of last night, so I've looked at that one.
Can't see anything out there.
New Russian forces launch big first Russian drone strike on Odessa. No, there's nothing happening in this country Well,
Yes.
not that they're showing anyway.
Like I said, I think if anything kicks off, it will be after evening prayer.
Yeah, I think it will. But I mean, if there is anything drastic that does happen, you know, I will put out a video tomorrow or something. But at the moment, there's nothing going on.
As long as we're still alive, eh?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yep, that's the one, Rob. Heather was a big fan of it. Oh, hello, you're back. I heard a thump then, but her mic's muted.
I just like the name Zaphod.
Zaphod Beetlebrock.
And the Hitchhiker's Guide, yeah.
Yeah. Ford Prefect.
Yeah. Arthur Dent.
Go on, Steve.
I was going to say all the names of the people in Hitchhiker's Guide. Slarty Bartfast was the best name. And he met Arthur Dent, and he goes, "What's your name?" He goes, "Dent, Arthur Dent." He goes, "Well, Dent, Arthur Dent, you'd better come or you'll be late." He goes, "Late for what?" "No, late as in the late, Dent, Arthur Dent." It's supposed to be a sort of threat. I was never much good at them.
I used to watch some of it, but...
Slarty Bartfast did create the most amazing coastline.
Oh, he certainly did. He was a designer of coastlines, wasn't he? On planets.
Norway.
No, oh, that was one of his best ones, wasn't it?
Yeah, design Norway.
I liked the bit, Mrs. W, when they were engaging the infinite probability drive or improbability drive.
Improbability drive.
And then someone says, "Where is this?" And he goes, "It looks like Brighton, but there's something strange." And he goes, "What, you mean the way the sea is steady as a rock and the buildings are waving around?" Yeah, that's struck me as odd as well.
Yeah, it's been quite a while since I've seen it, Steve. I must re-watch.
I've never watched it. I've only heard it and read it.
I think some of the conversations they used to have on there is like some of the conversations that she tries to have with me.
Yeah, it goes a bit Twilight Zone sometimes, doesn't it?
Oh, I do.
He lives in a Twilight Zone all of his own. And
Yeah,
there's no
I know the feeling.
There's no vampires or werewolves.
I killed them all.
A couple of space chickens occasionally.
Oh yeah, the space chickens, they're quite a regular feature in my world.
I remember you mentioning them
right.
before.
They're nice guys. They've been around for a while, but they haven't been in touch for a little bit now.
Good.
No, I read one book fucking years ago. The Ruby Knight, David Eddings.
Never heard.
And he did a trilogy on it. It's like a medieval fantasy, almost like an Arthurian world, as it were. And I read these 3 books back to back, solid, in a week. I didn't bother leaving the sofa other than to have a piss or to eat. And I literally was in those books. I became Sir Sparhawk. You know,
Oh, really? It's interesting because it's not as if you're someone who isn't in touch with reality, because you very much are. But you also have the capacity for losing yourself in your imagination.
Yeah, I just lost myself in the books, and as soon as I finished the first one, I literally picked the second one up straight away, just because they're concurrent, as it were, and just went through the whole story over a week. And oh man, my head was fucked. For a few days, I was walking around calling people my dear and sire and fucking all sorts. But yeah, that was weird, that one. It's but yeah,
people do that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, well, this is a cigarette, but that didn't help at the time. A few of those through the day as well. and you just lose yourself.
Mm.
Time is irrelevant. Light
Immersion.
and dark is irrelevant.
Mm.
You know, the only thing was, right, it's either my bowels or my stomach, so let's see to two of them for 5 minutes and then read the next chapter on, you know.
Yeah.
And the amount of nights I just fell asleep with a book in my hand.
Yeah.
'Cause I got to the point where when I was turning the page, I had a clip-on bookmarker. Every page I turned, I used to have to clip it on, because if I fell asleep and the book fell out, I didn't have a clue.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But I
gift,
don't
really.
really like that now.
I think we've all had books like that have taken us in the past. Be it what's some of the ones from The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, the full set, Swallows and Amazons, all of them. Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, all books I read cover to cover, time and time again as a kid.
Trying to think who wrote the other ones that it was a longer run of books and it was always the same style. Oh, fucking hell. Asimov. Empire and State.
Asimov.
The Empire and State.
He's a heavyweight.
Bit heavy, yeah.
It is heavy. But yeah, that was another one that I kind of got lost in.
I'd rather have 50 Shades of Grey.
But what fucked me up was in them is I couldn't see any order to them. And to me, the story, I obviously read a book out of place somewhere.
Right.
Because I kind of lost in the story and then went back to it.
Yeah.
But there is one in the story that regresses back before Empire and State, where the Empire is formed, a bit like Star Wars.
Mm.
You know,
prequels, isn't it?
Yeah. And that was another one that I got heavily into.
Isaac Asimov is the guy who come up with the protocol for robots. It's like first thing is do no harm. And, well, that's not right,
the 3 laws.
Yeah.
Isaac Asimov's one of Isaac Asimov's most famous books is God is a no, that's Von Daniken. God is a Spaceman. As soon as I started to say it, I know I got the name wrong.
But yeah, and one film, it's like where the other one that line was used in, and I'm sure they took it from there. I, Robot with Will Smith.
Yeah.
They used the same line there, didn't they? The same sort of outline of the story, as it were.
Mm.
But they were getting, you look at what they're trying to force today, AI robots.
Mm.
A lot of what came true, what is fact now and what we've got now was first thought of, and the idea came from a science fiction film.
Mm. Yeah, time and time again. Where we get the new term pre-predictive programming.
Yeah. Someone actually proved a point. It was an American, where they go into some of these stores. It's actually a prank where they advertise and display a new technology, as it were. And this was basically, I think the idea came from the Star Trek replicator, because what it looked like was a glorified microwave. And he was explaining to these very gullible people that you get these little blocks, you put them in this thing, you shut the door, you press the button, 30 seconds later, there's a ping, you open the door, and there's your meal. And what they've got is they've got someone under the counter with a hole, obviously, taking the token out and putting the fucking meal back in. And the amount of people that were willing to pay on the spot to buy one of these things was fucking unbelievable.
Shit.
I'm like, you dumb fucks, you know what I mean?
Ruins your faith, doesn't it?
But there again, you think of the replicator on Star Wars. To me, the first image that I saw was anything near that was a microwave.
That was Star Trek, not
Star Trek, sorry. You put your food in cold, you press a button, walk away from it, and it comes out hot. You haven't got
the equivalent of mobile phones
as well. Turning it. Mobile phones, the communicator.
Mm.
I mean, I've got 2 in the drawer here. that look exactly like that with the little flip ones.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Lasers, phasers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one of them in the drawer as well.
In the first Star Trek film, at the very end of it, the whole point of it was that man merging with machine. That was the whole.
Yeah,
and that,
Vija.
Tell me that isn't a bit Illuminati-ish.
Yeah, Vija.
Vija, yeah.
Yeah.
Captain Decker. Colonel Decker. Yeah.
Made famous because she shaved her head for the part.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I can go back to black and white sci-fi films that I remember.
Right.
And I see things from them that are here. I've seen them come in over the years, as it were. You know, it's. I think I just can't comprehend getting old. To be honest, it just freaks me out.
It's the times that are really warped more than anything. People are questioning reality more and more these days.
How can I put it? I spent a lot of years living my life a lot younger than I should, if that makes sense. You know, like in me 40s, I was still a 20-year-old in my eyes, as it were. I was still doing the physical things I was doing at 20. And then as the years progressed, like up until a few years ago, I was still throwing myself, as Heather says, down mountains on a fucking bike.
Yeah.
You know, which is not something you should be doing at my age.
Well, I don't know. Some people have that attitude, and it seems like an enviable thing, to be honest.
Yeah, I got old very quickly in my eyes. You know, I seem to have gone from like 30 to a 60-year-old in the space of 8 years.
I thought that's what you were saying earlier, and I thought I must have misunderstood you. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like the idea of being old has come to you very suddenly. Yes,
exactly. I mean, Heather, most of the lads I used to ride with are her son's mates. I only met them through her son.
Yeah. Young at heart.
You know, so and I was always mixing with younger people like that. I Dream of Jeannie, Master. Barbara Eden, wasn't it? What else we got? Van Morrison, Street. Books. Yeah, I didn't go a lot on the James Herbert and those sort of ones.
Oh, yeah, James Herbert is quite good. Did the Rats?
Yes, Rob. And that was the thing that broke me, because obviously a 20-year-old can take a lot more punishment and heal quicker than a fucking 50-year-old can. Plan 9 from Outer Space, yes. With the electronic beast, wasn't it, coming through the beams and that was a black and white one. I'm glad there's people out there that can remember these things. No disrespect to you youngsters in here, but it was a whole different world back then, you know.
Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, that's way into my youth. That is, I'd go back long before that, mate.
I can remember
the original Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, really?
Well, I can remember Thunderbirds, and I'm sure I remember seeing one episode in black and white.
Right.
Fireball XL5. The only one that didn't get put out in black and white, as far as I remember, because it came in later, was Stingray.
Oh, yeah. There's Joe 90 as well.
Joe 90 was much later.
Captain Scarlet.
Yeah, that's all sort of 70s, see?
All right.
That's like, you know, I was, I was born in 61, so. But yeah, those ones came out in the 70s. So by then I'd grown out of more or less that sort of thing. I mean, I was riding a motorbike from 12 years old. racing minis at 12, 13.
Stitcher saying Flash Gordon.
I can remember the original with Buster Crabby, mate.
Right.
And the only place you could see it was the Saturday morning cinema club for the kids. It used to be when the episode was shown every week. There you go.
Was it black and white?
Yes.
Yeah. Thought so, yeah.
Yep.
Wasn't it a funny thing about the modern Flash Gordon where they said they had Flash and Ajax in the same film? They're both floor cleaners, aren't they?
Yeah, where's the dog? But no, I did actually like that, not just for the Queen soundtrack, because I mean that fitted with it brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was made in the way that it should have been, because it was kind of corny story all along, and every film that had been done like it was kind of corny. And they incorporated that magical, almost cartoon effect into it, as it were, with the characters.
Yeah.
Overacting and.
Yeah.
But Ming's daughter in that lycra suit, I mean, that's got to be the highlight of the film.
I don't think I've seen the film.
Oh, yes. Full lycra bodysuit.
Like Adam West's Batman. With the pants over the top.
But, yeah. A lot of the modern ones, I'll watch them, but I don't enjoy them as much as the old ones.
Yeah,
I mean,
British Channel, I think it's
what's that channel I watch quite often on YouTube? The film channel that's down by PBS America.
That's not YouTube. That's the television dial.
Freeview.
Talking Pictures.
That's it. There's on Freeview. There's a channel called Talking Pictures.
Yeah, I know.
And I loved some of the films they put on there.
Old black and white stuff.
Yeah. It brings back memories. I'll watch one and think where I was at the time, or what I was doing at the time, what I was into.
Which girlfriend you took to the cinema?
Which girlfriend I took to the cinema. And I like the old road movies, like Two Lane Blacktop, Hot Rod, and American Graffiti. I mean, that's an absolute classic.
I haven't seen any of the classics hardly.
Yeah, American Graffiti is it's a bit like Happy Days. It's sort of that sort of era with the hot rods and the pranks, and of course, end of college, they're all going off, so they have a night of mayhem basically, and it follows all their different stories before they split up, and that is a classic one.
Pat Wright said he likes
Marina. Yeah. Oh, she had that big doughy eyes, didn't she?
Is it Marina? Aquamarina?
Maria.
Something like that.
I love that.
There's the theme tune to Fireball XL5. It came on one night, and all of a sudden, I had a burst into song behind me. But back then, the theme tunes ended up in the charts.
There were decent tunes back in them days. Back in the day when I used to write a tune with a melody, a good whistle.
I mean, this is a weird one, and I catch people out with this quite often, especially in quizzes. Who wrote a song about a world speed record attempt and the driver that did it?
And what was the song?
No,
you're not asking that as well.
No, because the song is actually the name of the car, and it gives it away.
Are you asking?
What group sang a song about a world speed record car? Simple question. And bear in mind, it's not modern. Bluebird, no, Stuart. Way off, mate. And they did mention the driver in the song as well as the name of the car.
Can't think.
Anybody in the chat? There's 16 still in here. It's quite good for this time of night for me. But it's definitely not Bluebird.
Good thinking that though.
Yeah. No clue. It was, the driver was called Craig Breedlove. The car was called Spirit of America. And the group was actually the Beach Boys.
I wanted to say Beach Boys.
Mm-hmm. They paid tribute to him by writing a song about him in the car.
Oh, did he die then?
It was America's. It was a big hoo-ha about it because it was at the time when they'd started using jet and rocket engines, and they didn't know how to classify it originally because it was 3 wheels. It only had 1 wheel on the front.
Oh yeah.
It
A very
was
long thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, like a dart. And that is the Beach Boys that wrote and sang that.
Was there a similar car called a Bluebird?
Yes, that was Campbell, the Englishman, Malcolm Campbell and Donald Campbell. They both had boats and cars called Bluebird. One of them was an MG.
Right.
One of the original Bluebirds was a big old MG.
But it was. I had a toy of it when I was a kid, like a Matchbox version. But it was like the length of the width of a Matchbox car, but the length of 3 of them.
Yeah.
With these kind of almost like shoulder blades coming out over the wheels. It was like just aerodynamic and nothing else.
Yeah. Most of them old ones used to use surplus aircraft engines.
Right.
I mean, one of the most famous ones was, again, believe it or not, it was bloody farmer called William Parry. He was Welsh. He built this thing in one of his barns, named it Babs. He run it a few times, and then down at Pendine, something went wrong. Now, they used to have an external chain drive because they hadn't fixed out torque boxes and that back then to drive to the axle. So there was a chain drive externally on the car to the axle. And because of the screen in front, they used to have to lean past the bodywork to look where they were going. Now, they put the crash down to this chain snapping and taking his head off because he was lent out the same side. But that's never, ever been confirmed. But as he crashed across the finishing line, obviously he was killed. And his mechanics buried the car in the dunes as a tribute. What was left of the car, they actually buried up in the dunes at Pendine. A few years back, a team went back, dug it up, and have renovated it. And they've actually had it running, only as a display, up and down Pendine Sands again. But it was an annual occurrence back then, not like it is now. Every year there was 3 or 4 different attempts. Usually the big battle was between America and Britain, obviously. Everybody wanted to be the fastest.
I suppose it led into drag racing. Maybe the 70s, was it?
The drag racing, yeah. Obviously, we know the roundy racing over there came from the whiskey runners and moonshiners. Now, drag racing, yes, it was first started on the street. But when it really started getting serious was when all the older cars were surplus because so many were produced during the war. And people wanted a buzz. So, and to go faster and faster and faster, they started taking body parts off the car to drop the weight down. And eventually they became just an engine and a seat and the chassis and 4 wheels, one on each corner. And hence the name of a dragster called a rail, because that's all they were. They were just stripped down and just the bare rails of the chassis with an engine and a driver. And believe it or not, no, and it was a brilliant idea at the time, and it absolutely worked. And I wish the police today would look at it the same way with the modified car problems and that. Now, the police realised that they couldn't stop these kids racing on the streets because there was too many of them. A lot of them were getting injured, killed. Innocent people were getting killed and knocked over as well. So what the police used to do was organise events on runways. And they used to go around and tell all, this is back in the 40s, 50s, even into the 60s. The police still run with them now in America sometimes. And what they did, they were the first ones to start organising events to get the kids off the streets. And then the events got bigger and bigger and bigger. So people started running them for themselves. Then they became registered tracks. And then you got the NHRA and people like that, these groups that actually control the whole sport now. And that was its origins. But the police now, you go to most of what I'd call local tracks in America. Now, you don't get the big cars there, the big Top Fuel and the funny cars. They're just local guys that spend a lot of money on their cars to race against each other. And the police and the locals quite often join in. I've seen teams from the fire brigade. I've seen teams from the police, even an ambulance. The ambulance guys put a team together, the paramedics over there.
I bet they win a lot.
And then in the top lines of drag racing, two of the big teams, I haven't seen them around for a long time now. One was sponsored by the Army and one was sponsored by the Navy. And what they did, any servicemen that were into their drag racing, wanted to support the drag racing, you know, they probably paid $1 a month each out of their wages, and that paid and sponsored an Army car and a Navy car. We're talking hundreds of thousands of pounds of cars here. I mean, the engines, even today, you're looking at 90 grand for the bare block.
This is definitely before health and safety, isn't it?
No, this was when health and safety was quite good. I'm only going back, 15, 20 years when they started getting involved. You know,
I thought that health and safety was a thing of the 80s for some reason. Maybe I'm a bit...
Formula One, yes, circuit racing.
Certain things.
Drag racing has always been a separate body. You have to have the same, this country anyway, you have to have the relevant racing license. You have to be licensed for each category you're racing. But other than that, it's controlled by the sport. The sport sets what classes, what engines, what rules. Most of the rules have come from America, obviously, because that's where it started. But on safety, they've even cut down now. They don't actually race. Most races don't get run over a quarter of a mile anymore. They get run over 1,000 yards. Simply because the cars were getting too fast. I mean, now they do race 1/8 of a mile as well, rather than a quarter of a mile, for saving on the engines of the smaller cars. So it's all about acceleration. But there's a car, and this was only 2 weeks ago, one of the top cars laid down a run on the 1/8 of a mile, and he reached 300 miles an hour. You're muted.
Oh, sorry. Over 1/8 of a mile.
Over 1/8 of a mile, he reached 300 miles an hour.
Is a mile 1,790 yards? Something like that.
Quarter of a mile is 1,300 and something, if I remember rightly.
Yards.
Someone's got an alarm going.
Oh, shit. That's the oven. Sorry.
But yeah, and the record again, which has been set recently in the last couple of weeks, over a actual quarter of a mile run, I think it was just over 3 seconds or something at 338 miles an hour from a standing start.
Right.
This is what I do on my off times when I'm not doing video. I go and catch up with drag racing. And yes, Rob, EV dragsters are a thing. So are diesels. And the EVs, because they're all torque with no gears, it's all about the voltage, are bloody quick. They are quick. The only thing that slows them down is lack of traction, because they are wheel driven.
Do you mean lack of traction because they haven't got a heavy engine?
Go and tell him.
Yeah, it's just torque spinning the wheels up.
Because I imagine, I don't really know too much about it, but electricity surely has a potential for speed more than mechanics.
Yeah, it's unlimited.
Yeah,
it's unlimited.
Ooh.
The only thing that will slow it down is mechanical.
Yeah, it's like the bullet trains in Japan, sort of thing. They just
EVs aren't in Formula One Moo at the moment. They've got their own series, which is actually, funny enough, called the E Series. I don't watch it. I watched it a few times, and to me, it's just like watching listening to a load of milk floats going around a city. Well, they have pit stop, but what they actually do is change car halfway through the race, so they've got another one charged up, ready to go.
What's the point?
They can drive round the outside of a corner, the long way round, the slowest way round, and pick up bonus charges, like a Mario game or something.
Oh,
seriously.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
That's it's fucking. I can't watch it, mate. It's farcical. It's like watching a game.
Yeah.
It really is. But I've said it a long time. Motor racing, not bikes so much, but motor racing now, it isn't what I call motor racing. It's computer games with somebody sat in it, controlling it, and the money involved. I said to Heather today, even grassroots sports like banger racing, some guys will pay up to £200 a car to banger race it. I mean, we used to get given them. I can remember when you used to have to pay the scrap man to take them, so people used to give them you. The world's just turned on its ass in my lifetime. It's done a full circle. It really has.
Yeah, it's uncanny as well, the way things seem to have, like, the seeming deliberateness of it. It's like values are inverted, that sort of thing, without getting too conspiratorial about it.
Yeah. And you go back to some of my early videos on the shit that's going on. Now, yes, we kept hearing this build back better. And everybody's saying, well, you've got to knock everything down to rebuild. And then you look at everything that's been going on, Yes, you got the other thing that I always say, the control, influencing over people and stuff like that. But you can look at it from both corners on that.
I think one of the most helpful terms to when trying to get any kind of sense about all that all this sort of stuff is sometimes when I've seen some Catholic people talk about the machine, and other people as well. It's in a Pink Floyd song as well, the machine. But it seemed to be almost an organic, well, perversely organic thing that nature is creating, and it's a machine that's very mechanical, very little humanity about it, and it just seeks to envelop and control and take the joy out of life wherever it sees it, like Vija, basically.
Rob, yes, it was a Hemi. The one I had back in the day was a Keith Black. To be honest, I don't know who's building them now, but they're putting out in the region of about 11,000 brake horsepower to 12,000. That is only estimated because at the moment there isn't a rolling road that they can actually test them on that will stand up to the amount of power they got. But you think your average saloon car, a 1600 saloon car, is going to put out roughly 100 brake horsepower, and they're putting out 12,000. That's and the amount of fuel you can use anything from, I don't know, 18 to 25 gallon of fuel to do a quarter of a mile run. And that's about 47 quid a gallon now, I think.
I suppose the only thing holding back electricity from going as fast as the speed of light, if all that's true, is sheer aerodynamics.
Yeah,
How sleek can you make
aerodynamics
them?
and mechanical things like bearings, contact with the road. I mean, Bloodhound that went through the sound barrier at Bonneville or Salt Lake, wherever it was. That was actually running on solid metal wheels. There weren't any tyres on the thing.
Mm.
The rubber would just fly off at that speed.
Right, or burn.
Yeah.
Well,
So they run on, plus to keep a grip on the salt, they are they're almost like a symmetrical train wheel, as it were, with a slight ridge in the middle.
Yeah.
But they're actually solid.
Mm. I saw an excellent thing.
Go on.
Sorry, I was just going to talk. I mean, you mentioned the wheels there. I saw an excellent video just a few days ago about how train wheels work, and they're conical, almost conical, with the point facing outwards from the train.
Yes.
So, and the way it works along the tracks is just poetry in motion.
Yeah, and the flanges keep it on, and it can move either side, but the flanges stop it moving.
Well, they were set. Well, the one I saw said it was either flanges or the cones. There was no need for the flanges because of the cones. The flanges would only tighten up around imperfect bends and stuff like that. But the cones, because it was like if the track goes on a bend to the right, then if I'm getting it right, then the cone will show less surface to the track on one side, and therefore move quicker. It's like camber or something, you know, or tracking in a car.
Yeah.
But it was just two cones, and it's just the simplicity of it's just fantastic.
That's why people used to question ours with cars and shit, because if you looked at the front wheels, quite often on a race car, they're like that. They're cambered.
Right.
Either negative or positive. Yeah. Now, if you got it like that, the car's going to grip better around corners.
Mm-hmm.
The more upright they are, the less contact you've got with the road.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing an oval car, you'll set them up like that. So literally all the force is on one side because you're just going around in a giant circle. Mm-hmm. It's, even Grand Prix cars, if you look at them, quite often you'll see the front wheels aren't upright.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much now because they use the new size, but right, Steve, I'm going to knock it there, mate, because we have got a mate of ours coming round.
Okay.
I'd like to get something down my neck before he gets here, and he's due here about 7.
Yeah, like, tea's up around here as well.
Thank you very much to you and Stitch for dropping in, mate. You're always welcome, you know that.
Oh, thanks very much, Rod.
Thank you very much to Pap in his absence. See what I mean with me words and everybody in the chat, absolutely brilliant. I mean, yeah, the numbers have dropped off now. They always do towards the end like this, but we have had quite a good attendance today in there. The numbers have been quite constant. We've only had one come in that absolutely was one of the ones that's been in the last few weeks. And I dare say they'll pop up again on Sunday with a different name. But there was it's gone now. There was someone else who subbed. Can't remember the name, but welcome, sir. I did look into it. And hello. Oh, Smarty Blackbird. Yeah, Leeds were done a terror exercise yesterday, funny enough, in Leeds, in the town.
Right.
Simulated terror attack. I wonder whether that was a practice for today, just in case. But all right, guys, appreciate you all coming in. Thank you for supporting the channel. I know it can get a bit boring in here sometimes, but between us, we try and keep it moving. Don't forget, Sunday night, 8 o'clock, Pap Live. It will be the last one for a week or two, as he said himself earlier, if you weren't here. Simply because he's having some time with family. So, guys, have a lovely weekend. I hope the weather is better for you than it is here. It's been miserable and fucking raining all day. Luckily
Yep,
enough,
same
I didn't have to go out and do any shopping, but somebody did.
Nice one, everyone, by the way. Take it easy.
So, and I'd like to, or as always, thank the lovely Miss W in the background there, not just tech support, but she is doing work in the background on the channel as well now. So,
Gives me
big thank you
something
to her.
to do.
Yeah, stops you getting bored just listening to me, doesn't it?
I still get bored. Still get bored listening to you.
All right, and
Keep
guys,
telling that to me, so.
appreciate you all. And for those that don't pop in the videos in the week, I'll see you all next weekend.
Have a good weekend, dog.
Strong, safe, free.
Stay safe, stay strong, stay free. Respects.
Take it easy, everyone.
Take it easy, guys.
Cheers, Morris. Late, Miss W.
Nice day. Nice day.